told my parents I was trans, and they said I was just gay. Me, trans femme 14, told my parents that I am trans. It was pretty late at night, so we didn't really talk about it, but they said it was okay. A week later, my parents sat me down and said I am just gay. They were just saying that I should just be a gay stereotype. They put aside all my dysphoria and said it's in your best interest. A few days after that, they made me cut my hair short at a barber shop. I usually go to a salon. I haven't brought it up again, and I don't know what to say. They also compared me to Mitch and Cam from Modern Family, and said you might be more of a Cam than a Mitch, so that show is ruined for me. That's so sad. I didn't got like the maybe you're just gay. They just forgot about it completely when I tried to come out and they didn't care. And right now, I can only think on how do parents do that? Their kid comes out to them and they say, no, I will forget this for the rest of my life. Just wanted to understand how they do that. Genital preferences. The latest form of transphobia. Lately, I have seen a lot of posts talking about genital preferences and people asking if it's okay if they don't want to date a trans person due to genital preferences. On the surface, an innocent question and valid mindset. Everyone is entitled to their preferences and nobody should be forced to date anyone they don't want to. What this kind of things hides, however, is a disdain for trans people and our bodies, and the other way to bring us down while making transphobes seem like victims. First of all, not all trans people keep their original genitals, and for those of all who have it, some of us hate it and don't ever want to use it. But not only that, these kinds of comments, questions chip away at trans people's self-confidence. We start feeling undesirable, undateable, like nobody wants us. And to those that read this and have these preferences, it's cool, nobody is going to force you to date a trans person, but nobody has to listen to your barely disguised transphobia either. Keep it to yourself. Added, since some people thought the post was unclear, what I mean is saying your genital preferences unannounced, saying it when asked about it, it's obviously fine. Added to, this post got deleted over at the LGBT sub. I think that those genital preferences are a little strange, like if someone talks about them too much, like, oh, but what do they have in the middle of their legs? I don't really think you should be thinking about it that much. It feels kind of creepy, you know? And I think that it really shows some strange things when it got deleted at the LGBT sub. I think this is something more people should talk about, because of course everyone has preferences, but when you talk so much about them, I think you're just trying to be transphobic. Trans people in general, they hate their genitals, and want to get them off, wanted to change them. And as much as you don't like this idea of, oh, but she's a woman but she has you know, or he is a man but he has a, you know, you might not like it, but please respect them. You don't need to automatically date them. Just try to respect those choices and what they do. Being intersex does not make a transition easier, and we don't get any special treatment for it. I don't know where this myth comes from, but it's been getting more prevalent lately, and it really bothers me. I am trans intersex, assigned male at birth to female. I have OTDSD. Legal context here. OTDSD is where you have both the ovarian and the testicular tissue, and you basically can be both of them now back, which is what most of you probably think when you hear intersex, a person born with differing surface level sex characteristics. It's obviously more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it. When I was born, I was surgically mutilated to fit a male body. This was done without my or my parents' consent. It also caused me numerous secondary medical issues in my life. Throughout my transition, I faced constant backslash and skepticism, and doctors repeatedly denied me HRT for a variety of reasons linked to my condition. Despite being intersex and often implied for it, I have faced every bit of transphobia that you have. Given the choice, I would be born perisex. Perisex is being born without being intersex, basically. Back to the thing, I would be born perisex every single time. All this to say, nobody gives us handouts. We don't have it any easier than any of you. I wasn't handed HRT at the drop of a hat like some people seem to think. That's basically my vent. Please just remember that while there aren't a ton of us, we do still exist, and acting like our lives are made easy by our condition really hurts. That's because you were never a man. Today, my wife accidentally gave me one of the most affirming moments I've ever had. Today, my wife and I were watching TV. The guys kissed another girls and basically played two girls, and at one point, all the guys were comparing the things the girls did to the guys, saying, "You did the same thing." And I got a little heated because it wasn't even close to the same thing. I kept saying, "I don't get it. How are these guys so stupid? Do they not see it, or do they just don't care?" My wife just shrugged and laughed. "They are men." I said, "I would never do that." Without missing a beat, she said, "That's because you are never a man." What? I just kind of froze. She wasn't even trying to reassure me or make a point. She just said it like it was the most obvious thing in the world. Hearing the person who knows me better than almost anyone say something so casually hit me like a hug and a punch in the face. My brain short-circuited for the rest of the night. She kept asking if I was okay, looking super confused. That made it worse because she genuinely had no idea what she said. I don't even think she realized she said it. Gender affirmed, mind blown. Anyone else experienced this? I experience this sometimes. I have my good friends that they just say it. My closest friend, he sometimes just says, "Yeah, you won't understand it. You are not a man." And I love it. And also, one day I was in a all girls group and they said, "Yeah, we are all girls. There's no man here." That's the best moments you can have. Okay, this next one is kind of, you will say it, atrophy bleeding. Girls, I need your help or advice. I have been on hormones for 8 months now. I have been on monotherapy through injections since the beginning and had an orgy 3 months after starting. Because of that, my libido never went down and I masturbated every 2 weeks or so. As my body becomes more girly, I get significantly more horny. Now and this week I masturbated twice a day. During that, I never felt real pain. Maybe I have very slight burning. After that, I went to sleep. When I woke up, my underwear was full of blood and blood still came out through my urinal channel. I panicked and drove to the hospital to get checked. They basically said it come from the erections and I should avoid it. The following days, the bleeding eventually stopped that day. I am terrified and scared of getting horny now. My libido is high and I can't release myself. It's torture. My whole life plans are getting messed around now. I originally planned to never get biosurgery surgery because I like having a dick. But with this atrophy problem, I don't know any other way around. I don't want testosterone cream down there, as I don't want my levels to go up. Plus, my libido is high enough anyways. Does anyone have/had this problem? Did it eventually go away? And look, this is deeper than you think. I will read some comments. Girl, I used my wand twice a day for 4 days and ended up doing a tear, and I had pain pissing and a very small amount of blood. It was almost certainly thinner skin. Wait a while, especially if the urologist cleared you. Atrophy is no joke. I have been on HRT for about 15 months, and ever since about 6 months in, I struggled tears on the foreskin, and even with stretching and steroid cream, it has been a regular issue, and I hadn't ever had any blood coming from the urethral. I'm going to ask about the TG gel to see if that will resolve my issues. I've heard it works, and it shouldn't change the levels too much, if at all, since it's applied topically. Anyone else have tried or hear the same or similar? For those who didn't understand what happened here, from what I see, the skin around that area getting thinner in HRT may cause some bleeding when using it. And I mean, what an incredible talk. It is important if you are going to start HRT. But now, if anyone is just here because like, oh, trans man, genderqueer, non-binary, you guys are looking at that and saying, what the fuck? I first looked at that and I said, what the fuck? But it's an important question and we can't deny it. How did you settle on a name that felt right? Hey yo, I am female to male and I have been through a series of different names over the past year or so. I feel like I have been getting closer to the type of name I would be happy with, but honestly, it's hard to settle into a name without wondering if it really suits me or if I need to keep looking. How did you guys figure it out? I figured out a name that feels pretty good, not telling if it's the last, but I really appreciated seeing everyone's experience and advice. Love you all the best. Now let's get some comments and I tell mine. So I am male to female. How it worked for me is my date name was Slivosk. Slive means sacred in Russian. All the Russians, I'm sorry, but I think I pronounced that wrong, okay? Now back to the comment. There's nothing secret in me, kind the opposite. So I dropped that part, feminized it a bit, and my name now is Slavania. Maybe something similar may work to you. This one is good. I, trans femme, just kind of woke up one day and was like, that name is perfect. Marilyn is extraordinarily perfect. And then I stuck with it. She's slaying right here. I made a long list of every name I really liked, then I removed the names from it. Anything I couldn't reliably count on strangers spelling and pronouncing correctly, anything which people would naturally abbreviate though, I like the full version. Anything which could be construed as a cultural appropriation, that left me with a short list of 6 names, the names I liked the most. That's a good number for a short list. I gathered the people I trust the most around the table, it was a very small table, and presented them with the short list. When I stood up from that table, I had a name and I have never regretted it, nor wished for any other since then. I think this process might work well for you. You clearly have some names you like, but you are getting stuck with second guessing yourself and trying to find the mystical perfect. Gather the people you love and trust the most and present them with the options you like. No name is perfect, but the one they give you will be elevated above the others. Okay, girl. You have big points here. How I settled on Femi is a really funny story for me at least. My original name was just FM and it's like just my initials on my dad's name, and I was like, oh, let me order some Starbucks with that name, and when I said FM, the barista somehow spelled it Femi on the cup, and I was like, oh my god, everything makes sense now. I feel like Femi is just so fitting, because it's clearly more feminine. There's one thing I thought when I saw it the first time. You can spell femininity and masculinity without Femi. I like this idea so much, even more because I was really questioning if I was non-binary, genderqueer, gender fluid. Now I'm leaning more towards the gender fluid and trans woman. I will still understand which one, just give me more time. With all of this, all those beautiful stories, all those beautiful comments here, that was all for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Bye!